up, Flockers? We're back with another episode of Flockast, and I'm joined, as always, with Mr. Colin Long. What's going on, Colin?
Hey, good morning, Jake. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you the other day at Phish. It was fun to kind of, get to hang at a different scene for a change. What do you think of those shows?
Well, I don't know if everyone knows this or not, but I am not the biggest Phish fan. Uh, it's taken me a while to, I guess, hop back on that wagon a little bit. Yeah, Saturday night was the best Phish show I've ever seen. We'll say that.
Word.
I had
I
a
thought
ton
that
of
first
fun.
set was a little
They
soft.
were
I didn't hate it, but the second set definitely came full circle. And it was really good. It was cool. It was interesting because I had like the best and the worst spot possible. So I was at the very front row of the 200s. But if you don't know this about me, I have very bad vertigo. So being at that height, actually, I kept wanting the whole first set. I had to sit because I felt like I was going to fall over this damn rail. It's only knee high. You do one little dance move wrong way, you stumble, and you're going to topple over that thing. I was freaking out. So second set, I went and danced in the aisle the whole second set. It was fine. Felt a lot better there, but definitely a hot show from start to finish.
Yeah, and if no one knows what we're talking about, we're talking about the Charleston shows uh, this past July 12th, 13th, and 14th. I flew down there to meet my wife, Tiffany, who is on lot vending, and I came in Saturday and Sunday, and Colin was already there for the entire weekend, but we joined forces on lot for a little bit each afternoon. Hung out a little bit. Was able to munch on some of his funkin' good gummies. Brought those through.
Yeah, actually, that was the
Nice.
first. So it was crazy because I didn't realize that was my first Phish show since Mondegreen. I usually go to more shows a year, and I guess the last year it kind of gotten away from me from that aspect. But it was cool because it was the first run we've done where we brought our Funkin' Good Rage on Energy gummies, and we're liberally handing them out. There was actually a couple times where like we saw people that were not quite going down, but like fading, and kind of just lean over to them and just be like, "Hey." And at first they're kind of like, what are you handing me? Right? Fair. I get it. Like some random strangers handing you random things to eat. But, I tell them, hey, this is what it is. I give them the quick, it's clean energy for you. And boom, all of a sudden, a song and a half later, they're picked up and they're dancing again. I'm like, that's what I want to see.
No, dude, I just finished I got two of the Rage on bags, and I just finished my last bag yesterday, and honestly, they're perfect for me because I work second shift and my lunchtime is at 8 p.m. and I don't ever drink caffeine after 9 p.m. So eating a serving of those four with my lunch is perfect for me to like get through the rest of my work shift and then not like be jacked up for the rest of the night with the cordyceps, yerba mate, green tea, L-theanine, and 12, so they're perfect. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's they're dose controlled, which is cool because sometimes like I sit here and I have like a jar I keep on my desk, so I just kind of munch on them throughout the day. I don't need to have four. I just go like, all right, I have two. Boom, it just kind of keeps me a little on the level there. And just so everyone knows, if you go to funkandgoodfoods.com right now, use the promo code DOME to get 20% off everything. And if you order it soon, we'll get it to you before Dome Fest. But we'll also be on site with our wellness station, the Funkin' Goods Wellness Station. We're really excited about this. Got a lot of healthy stuff, a lot of good coffee, energy gummies. We'll have Tylenol, you name it. We'll kind of have a bunch of stuff there. So if you rage a little too hard or need the energy to keep raging, we got you covered. So we're really excited for Dome Fest for so many reasons, but the fact we'll be vending there as well as you, I think that's going to be a really cool time. Not having Dome Fest last year, getting to go back now again. It feels like it's been too long. I mean, speaking of too long, it feels like it's been too long since the Pigeons have played last. I mean, it's, all good feels like it's been a year ago already. So it's kind of nice they drop Feed the Fire on us, just kind of seemingly out of nowhere, one ominous post with some fire burning, and then tomorrow. I would love it.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't expecting this at all, at least the drop of the album. But I mean, we've been talking about for a while that they've had enough stuff to release an album. I remember a couple podcasts ago that we were talking about there's so much new music that they're releasing at their shows that they could just make a whole new album with it. And that's exactly what they ended up doing to us. And I'm super excited to see this stuff uh, on wax. I'm excited to see mine. We'll go through the track list later, but yeah, dude, it seems like they definitely haven't played forever. Kendall McCargo was giving me some shit on Instagram, looking at my stories, my Phish stories. He's like, "What is this?" He's like, "I come here for Pigeons content." And I'm like, I know, dude, they're just off right now, so I guess I gotta be a Phish fan right now. I was like, don't worry though, soon enough, my friend, you'll see plenty of
It's
Greg on
good to
here.
know that Phish is your side piece now.
Well, yeah, I guess they are now, huh? I was hoping it was gonna be Billy, but apparently it's Phish, so but it's all good.
Hey, no disrespect to Billy, but Fish is Fish, man. You know, it's funny. I was texting last night with one of the guys that work for me, and all of a sudden he sends me a photo, and he's at Forest Hills. I'm like, dude, you're your first Fish show, amazing. I'm like, so I gotta like as soon as I get done with doing this, I gotta call him and just be like, all right, dude, give me the lowdown. Like, what happened? How was it? You know. But he was like, "How did you know?" I knew where he was, and it's kind of it's so easy for me to see the photo. Like, oh, I know exactly what you're doing right now. He didn't have to say he was at Fish. I'm like, I got it. I see it. But I love that though. New people finding new music, getting into different scenes. Like, I found my way here through Fish. It's kind of like maybe the gateway drug for jam bands. Like it's like the Grateful Dead used to be the most accessible one, the most popular one. Well, Fish is kind of holding that down, bringing people in, but then they're finding other bands. I mean, as you're seeing, Eggy, the Magic Bean, a lot of bands are coming up continuously right now, building bigger fan bases, and everybody got introduced to it somehow, which is cool. The more the merrier, because we need more fans. I mean, more ticket sales means these guys can continue to do more shows, bigger shows, better shows. It improves the quality of everything with ticket sales. And speaking of ticket sales, make sure you get your Dome Fest tickets. Don't sleep on them. Just get them now.
Yeah,
Don't wait.
I think there's still a bit of a discount, at least a little bit before they go full price. But Pigeons are back in action this weekend. They got two shows coming up tomorrow and Saturday. They're headlining the Flood City Music Festival in Pennsylvania on Friday. And then Saturday, they're going to that music festival, the Great South Bay, I think it's called. In
Yeah, someone who was saying that's Mo, Eggy, Humphreys, Pigeons, like, whoo. I was thinking about it because I was just messaging on Facebook before this, and I was thinking, if you were going to get a sit-in, at that festival, let's get Joel out there. I think he would be the sit-in. They've had Jake on before. Bayless would be cool, but I think a Sweet Key sit-in with Joel would be amazing.
yeah,
Wishful
dude.
thinking.
There's the potential of sit-ins across the board are just amazing. I was thinking about this yesterday. Looked at a round trip flight to see what could happen, but no, they're too expensive. I was thinking like
Yeah.
maybe I could get a breeze flight out there, but
Yeah, I'm really bummed out because Humphreys is coming to Richmond next month, and I have to be in Austin the day of the show, and I'm flying back, but there's just no way to get back. I mean, I'd make it, but just in time for the encore, which is just such a bummer. They're playing the National. I freaking love that venue. It's crazy. Dave Matthews was just here a week ago, and he played the new Alliance or Alliance or whatever they call it, amphitheater they just built. You couldn't get a lawn seat for under 250. I was like, yeah, I'm like, dude, I love Dave. He was he was my first love before I got into even Phish, like back in the '90s. Like, I'm not gonna spend $500 to take Shannon to Dave's show to sit on the lawn. I just can't do that on principle.
that's
Drove me
wild.
crazy.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's Virginia's his home state. It's a smaller venue. I get it. It's full, but that's still way too much money for lawn. Pavilion, all right, you can debate that, but where's my $80 lawn seat? I'd be happy up there.
Even $80 is steep for a lawn seat. I feel like.
For Dave, I'm just saying, like when Goose is playing there in October, they're doing 2 nights, and you can get a lawn ticket for like $45 right now. And I'm like, that's appropriate. I'm okay with that. I don't mind going to one, maybe two of the nights just because they're in town. But I'm still gonna be salty about missing Humphreys. That's a frustrating one. But such is life. We gotta make money. Gotta pay the bills.
For sure. But yeah, Pigeons back in action for 2 nights right before Dome Fest coming up. And yeah, let's talk about Dome Fest real quick. Uh,
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm getting things wrapped up for my booth. Got a few more tie-dye projects I want to finish up, but for the most part, we are pretty good to go. Got my stickers in yesterday. New sticker design by Page
Nice.
Run Co. Doing a
Hey,
limited run of these.
congratulations, Jack and Paige, on your engagement. We love you guys. It's amazing.
Oh
Love to
yeah,
see it.
love that. You knew it was coming. But that couple right there, Jack Harper and Paige. Got this one. Nice little Jeremy busting out of the Steely. Classic
You're being
Ben.
shown the light.
Showing the light. Oh, that is perfect.
Love it.
You got Ben flipping the bird. Nice little bird song, I guess you could say.
Love that.
And then just my new grooving inside of the Steely. So you
I
can
love
grab
it.
that from my booth if anyone's interested in those. And then yeah, got some more Seinfeld shirts coming up to you too. So I'll have one of these for a special someone. What about you, Colin? I see they
Love
are
it.
posting some ads for the old Funkin' Good booth, so that's sweet.
Yeah, look, I got to say, everyone over at Ace Adventure and the Pigeons team have just been the coolest to work with, and they're being so generous with their time and just their platform to help promote us. I mean, obviously we're a sponsor, so they're not doing it for free, but I still I feel like they're going above and beyond. I talked to Jeremy recently, and he was pushing it with them and said, hey, we want to help make this happen. So he's been in support of it as well, which I truly appreciate, because if there's one man that's going to help get stuff done in this, it's Jeremy himself, right? So shout out to him for being just an amazing human being, an awesome guy. Um, he even bought some stuff recently from us, so he's got some gummies and coffee. He was trying them out, so I love that. But we've been going. I mean, Shannon. I will say, when I say we, the proverbial we is mostly Shannon. She's doing a lot of the work here, so we still have to buy our pop up. There's a couple last minute supplies we have to get, but we're putting a lot into this. We've got banners and posters and signs, and we've done all kinds of stuff. So it's really been good, though. It's really helping us kind of continue to launch Funkin' Goods. We have more what I was calling assets. We have stuff now. We have a booth, so we can use that as we go around to local events. And so we're super excited. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work, but I think we're going to have a great time. I think Ace. The more I see about Ace, the more I think this is going to be just an amazing, hopefully maybe new home for Dome Fest. We'll see if it comes back again, but the place looks awesome. I think there's tons of activities to do. There's not a moment where you're going to be bored or not know which direction to go. Well, actually, probably might be which direction do I go, because there's so much between the art activations, all the workshops, all the vendors, all the activities, the water park. I mean, if you can't find something to do, it's on you. So I think it'll be pretty action packed. No pun intended. Dome Fest. So we're super hyped. I think the late night lineup looks great. Really kind of, we're consuming my fair share of Rage on Energy gummies to make it through some of those, but I'm looking forward to it. I've been listening to the podcast, or not the podcast, the Spotify Dome Fest playlist, and that's been great because I've been listening to a lot of the bands that I don't normally listen to that are going to be there. So, if you're not familiar with some bands, throw that on. That playlist is kind of looping through everything. It's a little bit of Pigeons in there, but you're getting a lot of everything else, which I think is really cool. So it's been getting me hyped up for Chalk Dinosaur. Honestly, it's a band I really had kind of been sleeping on, I think. And I've been hearing some of their stuff come through, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to be they'll be converted on that late night set. I'm really looking forward to it. So, yeah, I think they've done a really good job setting this up, and I think we're going to have a blasty.
excited for Papa
Yep. Yeah, I think I saw them. They came through Richmond like last year. I saw them. Great band. I mean, look, the lineup is good. It's, I mean, obviously there's a lot of bands that people wish were on there that are other obligations. Obviously, I wish Magic Beans could be in attendance because I really, really enjoy when the Beans are on the Dome Fest lineup. But they're running their own festival, so that's great. But I think based on availability, we have a great lineup. So yeah, I'm ready to buckle up. I'm going to get there on the Wednesday to set up, be there early. So, by the time everyone starts to arrive, we'll be nice and settled in, which will be cool. But yeah, I think it's just now up to us to tidy a few details up to make sure we're locked and loaded. But we got rainwater. So if you're looking for a good, clean aluminum bottled water, no plastic bottles, everything we're trying to do is more sustainable in our booth as well, to that capacity. So yeah. I think it's going to come and go like this, though, and I'm going to be like spit out the other end and be like, what the hell just happened?
You're getting there on the
Tuesday would be cool, but yeah. Trying to work it into my schedule as well, but I got it. Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, just put mic up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah, better. You're just a little quiet there for a sec.
Sorry. All right, we're gonna go through this track listing. Let me pull it up here.
While you're pulling that up, if you are on the Nest, but if you're not on the Nest, you don't know. But they've been dropping a bunch of new practice jams. 531, that was my birthday, so it was kind of cool. I was just listening to that one right before the show. 6979, so they've been updating more of those. Sick. It almost makes me frustrated because I'm like, you see how just ripping these guys can just improv and jam, and I'm like, just let's bring more of this in. Like, not like they don't do it, but like shit, these practice jams are really tasty. I would love to see them just kind of just vibe out for, pick a song and just take it for a little ride.
Do they have the Asheville uh sound check? Do they have sound check jams on there?
Yes, they have soundtrack jams as well, which are also good. I think the practice jams, I don't know, it's apples and apples. I guess it's just, it's all good. But yeah. I like it too because it's something I put on during work and I just kind of, I'm just zoned out on it, right? Just kind of, I'm not listening to the words. I'm just kind of going with the music. So, and they're, good length as well. So, from the one from, let's see, what was that one? Practice jam. Yeah, the one from 116, it's 26 minutes long. That's it's a hell of a groove. So check it out. But do you have up the track list?
I do. I have it up now for Feed the Fire. Pigeon's new album coming out October 4th.
I think you could tell my level of excitement is by all of a sudden I just felt compelled to make some memes. I just like I got to do something. I'm so excited. But yeah, I mean the track list here. I mean, I love how they released the Calm Before the Storm with some horns on there. That's really nice. I mean, obviously, I think that one of the ones I want to hear the most, the song I'm actually most excited for. Which one do you think it is?
I want to go with Donkey Hotel.
Good guess, but no. Fantasy. Okay. Look, they got Here Come the Mummies on there. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be a ripper. I mean, I love that song. I still the debut, the Dome Fest debut. I still think is the best version they've done of it. But just Ben's little bass line on it. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's the jam. When I first moved to Miami, it was right after they dropped that, and I just remember cruising around on my little scooter, just listening to Fantasy all day. I mean, I was on repeat for that for a minute. So very excited for that. How about you? What are you most looking forward to?
I want to hear Mine, honestly. I want to see where that goes. that was a big song that they'd sound check all through the Dogs Frasco tour. So I heard it a lot when I was doing the tie dye uh, booth on their tour. But
Yeah, that was
I'm
first played in Pittsburgh 2 years ago on New Year's, right? That's when they debuted it, I think.
I couldn't tell you,
I
but
just remember I had FOMO because that song's super psychedelic. My favorite version I've seen live was when they played it at the 930 Club time ago. I was up in the top. I didn't really have a good spot. We were down below getting crowded. It was frustrating. So we just kind of moved. I'm like, hell, I'll just dance back here. I can't see the stage, but I get to see the lights in the ceiling. And I remember when they were just jamming it out. It was psychedelic, man. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well.
yeah. And then I want to see what Twitch sounds like on the album. That'd be interesting too with Chalk Dinosaur. But I'm also digging this album cover art
Yeah.
big time.
Flaming
It's not,
Pigeon.
yeah, it's
Do we know who did
sweet.
it?
I have no idea who did it. I like the script of pigeons playing ping pong. Everything about it is more like grown up. Doesn't have like a cartoony feel to it. So that's awesome. Love that for them. Uh, I think it gives more of an appeal to the music comparatively to before. It's like seeing an old Pigeons album work. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the old Pigeons album art or anything like that. I'm just saying like this is a more toned down, uh, I guess you could say a little bit more professional looking. Just
Yeah, I
because
think the Day and Time was kind of the first step. They kind of went in a different direction with the album artwork than their traditional stuff, kind of to your point. This one is great though. I think it's funny because Feed the Fire, I remember when they did the 8x10 run, and each night they debuted a different song. And, Feed the Fire, I remember even talking about it. I was like, that was my least favorite one. Like I was soft on Feed the Fire at first, and I forget where I was seeing them. And then they played it live, and I was like, oh shit, I've been hardcore sleeping on this one. Uh, Such a great jam. Really enjoy. But there's 70 days, 13 hours, 31 minutes, and 4 seconds until it's available. Uh, I love they got a countdown. I'm just looking at. I didn't just know that.
oh, really? Damn, I
Yeah,
was gonna say your pigeons like knowledge is going through the roof, Colin.
I'm
But
going
it looks
full
like
Rain Man here.
yeah, but it looks like they're the album release party or apparently the show for that's gonna end up being in Raleigh, North Carolina, October 4th at the Lincoln Theater. So I imagine that show will sell out because that's a relatively small venue. We're already looking
Yeah,
at
and North Carolina's not that far. I know that because I drove through it to get to South Carolina, which is very far. It felt like the 6.5 hour drive just felt like a 10-hour drive for some reason. There was zero traffic. It was all straight, super smooth. Still felt like the longest drive I've ever made in my life. I don't know why.
sometimes no traffic makes it feel even longer.
It's just, yeah, you're just kind of lost in the days of just going.
Have
But
that highway
I think
hypnosis.
exactly, exactly. But I think, look, yeah, go down the track list as well. I mean, you have some older songs that they've been playing for a while, and then you have some really new stuff in there, which I think is an interesting and good mix. The right track, they've been playing that a bit lately. Obviously going into Hell Yeah, they made that a staple song by playing a 60-minute version of it. I mean, that was super cool. I'm glad if I was going to miss the first set of that show pretty much because I missed my flight. I don't know why I'm doing air quotes. I missed my flight. But I came in right during like the end of Zydeco, and I was like, this sucks. I missed a great first set, but I got rewarded with the Hell Yeah. So I guess all's well that ends well. You know what they say, Jake? Or is that how they say it? I don't
Yeah, I'm never good with those sayings, dude. I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, let's just
know. I
go
was
through
making
top
up,
to
and we'll just pretend like it's real.
yeah, exactly. Let's just go top to bottom through this tracks. We got Calm Before the Storm, Underworld featuring Chalk Dinosaur, Right Track, Hell Yeah, In the Bubble, Feed the Fire, Hit the Ground Running, Fantasy, featuring Here Come the Mummies, as Colin said, Twitch, featuring Chalk Dinosaur, Mine, Donkey Hotel, and Undivided. And Undivided is one of those ones uh, haven't listened to that much. So I guess I'm kind of excited to hear that one too.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think what they've played. I mean, obviously you have like Love Trap, but that's too new. But there's still a bunch of songs they've written recently that aren't on this. I mean, they almost have another album worth of music they could release if they wanted to. It's there, which is great. They've been doing so much writing lately. And speaking of Love Trap, that song has been stuck in my head many times over the last couple of weeks. Um, so new songs, more heat. I'm here for it.
You know what song's been stuck in my head?
What's that?
Whoa, shocks my brain.
Hey, I will say uh, that encore was actually pretty cool, considering they did a meat stick, Turtles in the Clouds. You know, I mean, I'm a big Turtles in the Cloud guy. That's my favorite song from the Cast Fought set. I was there for it, where it was extra like nerdy special for me. I flew to Vegas, landed at 5 p.m., and then I had a 1 a.m. or no, I had it was like a 4 a.m. flight back. I didn't get a hotel. I just partied with my friends. And I was just like, all right, I'm just going to go to Vegas and then just stay up all night and then just head to the airport and go home. And I did exactly that. It was one of the coolest experiences. No luggage. I just showed up with my, just my wallet and my phone. I'm like, here, I'm here.
Hey, time to party.
Hey, yeah, let's go. But yeah, Halloween shows in Vegas. I hope they go back there for a Halloween run, and they, maybe next year, and they do it at the Sphere. That would be pretty badass stuff. And it's actually, speaking of the Sphere, though, it's been interesting watching. Sorry for a little side tangent here. Watching different artists now go through there, right? Because it's, there was limited at first, but I mean, I was seeing clips from the Backstreet Boys, and I mean, I'm not a Backstreet guy. I mean, that's fine, but their graphics were crazy. I'm like, as people are learning and it's adapting, it's kind of like it's just evolving onto its own. I think Trey might have said that when it was doing an interview a while ago. It's going to evolve, and each artist is going to help create a different one. Was it Kenny Chesney was through there, country guy. Yeah, I mean, yes. I was just like, it's wild, like it's just interesting. Like, jam bands make sense. Of course, the Grateful Dead are going to do or Dead and Company are going to do their runs there. Another side tangent is this is cool. I'm going to try to figure out how to do it. That when they play their Dead and Company Golden Gate Park show on August 3rd, they're going to live stream it into IMAX theaters. And there's one like 90 minutes away from me that's going to be having it. I'm not a massive Dead and Co fan. I like the Dead a lot, but I think that would be a cool thing. I remember back in like 2003, I saw Phish in Irvine at the movie theater when they were playing in Brooklyn. So it was like they were live streaming it to theaters everywhere. And that was the early days of Couch Tour before you can get it into your home. But it was just kind of crazy to see a bunch of Wooks descend on like an AMC movie theater and just set that place off. Anyway, that was like a double side tangent, but I had to get it out.
Let's go through the tour dates that are announced so far.
Let's get these boys back on the road.
Yeah, because they just announced their winter tour, I believe. Well, fall tour. So let's go ahead. Like we said, they're back in action this weekend at Friday in Johnstown, PA. That's July 25th. The 26th, they're at the Great South Bay in New York City. And then Dome Fest, just talked about that, August 7th through the 9th in New River Gorge, West Virginia. Party in the Park, August 14th. That's a Thursday with Eddie 9 Volt, Rochester, New York. And they're coming back to
New York.
Rochester. And then they're coming back to Ohio for Summer Dance at Nelson Ledges Quarry Park for a Thursday headline on that one. And also another music festival, the Adirondack Independence Music Festival in Lake George, New York, August 29th to the 31st. And then September 11th through the 14th in Louisville, Kentucky for Bourbon and Beyond. Bristol Rhythm and Roots reunion in Bristol, Tennessee on September 19th through the 21st. And then the beginning of their fall tour starts in Wilmington, North Carolina at the Greenfield Lake Amphitheater. You heard me.
You'll get
You got
there.
it. Yeah. But then October 4th, they're at the Lincoln Theater in Raleigh. Then the Ramble Festival, October 11th in Darlington, Maryland. Boston, Massachusetts for a 3-night run at the Paradise Rock Club. You got 3 different openers each night, starting on the 24th, going through the 26th. You have Big Something the first night, Chalk Dinosaur the second night, Disco on the last night. Then they slide on down to Suwannee, October 31st through November 2nd for Suwannee Halloween. And then you got November 8th, 9th, and 11th, Atlanta, Georgia, Nolens, and Jackson, Mississippi. 12th, 14th, and 15th of November, they go through Texas, Houston, Austin, and Dallas. Yeehaw! So Cowboys got some shows to see down there. If he's able to get to them. And then, dang, dude, they already have a lot of shows announced, I guess. But then the 16th, Fayetteville, Arkansas. 18th, Omaha, Nebraska. Fine Line in Minneapolis on the 19th. The Majestic Theater in Wisconsin on the 20th. 21st, they're in St. Louis. And then finish this little run in Covington, Kentucky, which we are going to be doing another meetup at Braxton Brewery. So we got that in works on the 22nd.
I really think looking at this, there's a lot of shows not to miss. But if I'm going to send it to anything, and I'm not a big fan of Boston, fine. But the Paradise Rock Club is awesome. And I think that 3-night run is going to be an absolute heater. And I'm definitely going to try to make my way to that. I think that'll be something not to be missed. They played the Paradise before, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just glad it's not the House of Blues. I'm not a big fan of the House of Blues Boston. So nice to see him at a venue that I much rather prefer. So very nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Colin. We were supposed to have a guest today, but they did not end up joining us. So hopefully next time we can get someone on. It was a pleasure, Colin, as always.
We want to hear from you, Flockers. We want to hear from you. So hit us up and we'll have you on. And also at Dome Fest, they'll be trying to set up quite a bit of recording at Dome Fest. So if your schedules don't work with us here, I'm going to set up some open times that you can just come by and we'll just do some recording. I'm going to kind of make a big montage of a lot of it. So we'll have our regular episodes, but then you want to come tell your story, we'll get you on. So I have some really cool stuff planned. It's a little late in the episode, so most people aren't going to hear this, but the bingo game, I'll have that set up. So there'll be Flock Bingo, which will be really cool. And then also a bunch of Flockast stuff as well. So it's going to be a busy festival. I can't wait. It's so much work to do something I enjoy so much. And I'm happy to do it and see everyone's beautiful, smiling, dancing faces. So Jake, it was a good to catch up. And I look forward to getting back together soon.
Yes, sir. Cool.